I said the other day I was going to try to do some stained glass effect paint up there above that bathroom window that blinds you in the morning. Not this morning, but tomorrow's a new day. Could be clear. Don't think so though. So there's some noir. Pretty cool. See, they got that artwork on there showing you, this is going to be what you're going to do, the black lines between the colors. So I've got this particular color set. They're not a sponsor, of course. And we are going to see how this works. So I guess you put this up there first. Maybe I'll find a video on how to do it, but my guess would be clean the glass at best you can, and then do this part and let it cure. And if all else fails, of course, just read what it says do there, and we'll see how this works. But right now it's just a pane of glass like that. I don't need to get up and go to the bathroom and show you the glass, and there's glass. You'll see it soon enough. Okay, this stuff reminds me of this paint I used to use on models when I was a kid called Poly S. It's water-based, but it's very, very good. It's very durable. I hope that's what this is. It says it's water-based and stuff, 24 hours to cure everything. Let's open this up here and see what we got. See what the consistency's like. Well, yeah, it looks like a real thick Poly S kind of stuff. It creeps, it leaps, and glides and slides across the floor, the door, the hall, and all along the wall. We're talking about the blob. I think Burt Bacharach, that was his first song. That looks like that's going to be okay. So I'll be sure and take the little lid off of it. You'll have a hard time getting it out of there, the little seal. Okay, let's see what this does. Alright, we're going to try this stained glass thing up here. Ugh. Oops, I need to vacuum or we'll clean up. I got to clean this glass before I do the, well, they all come in here to expire, don't they? Maybe I need to put that bug tape in here. So, well, that's been there a long time. Let's lose that. And we're going to clean this glass, and we're going to try to, make this look good. So, anyway, see, I still got my studs marked. So you'd have never known that if I didn't tell you. But if I ever wanted to hang something there, I don't know what I would hang there, but at least I know where the studs are. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's another one. That's right, me. There's 7 studs in here. So we're ready to go with this stuff. What's the matter? You're focusing. What's the matter with you? Well, that was dirty up there. I bet that's the first time that window's been cleaned in a decade. Ugh. So here we are. So this is what they look like now. Just plain old window. Thought about replacing this window, but I didn't. I didn't see any point in it. It's a good sealed window. Also thought about putting something out here too, but I never did. It's just, you're in a shower, you got to kind of think about things like that. So let's do the leading or letting here. And I had a neighbor that used to do the glass with the soldering and the tape and all that stuff. It looked kind of like a gigantic waste of time to me, but they enjoyed it. Okay, let's see what it looks like. I'll do a little bit and I'll show you what it looks like. At least I got this nice ledge to put the camera on. Okay. I ran the tractor for about 20 minutes to try to get the birds out, so it's just everything interlaces and interwraps. So let's see how this does. I hope it's pretty thick stuff. I'll tell you what, let's just kind of see. Let's go down here, and I'm just going to kind of do a random pattern. I hope it doesn't just run down. No, it doesn't. Alright, well, let's just let that sit there a minute. This doesn't have to be great, okay? It just has to be good. Okay, well, you can do it on a vertical surface. So my understanding is you can do this on a piece of plastic or something. You can peel it off and do it. I don't have that opportunity here. So there's the first strike. Let's just do kind of random patterns and just sort of, I'm not going to do like, you know, Lady Godiva on a horse or anything like that, or, you know, little birds flying, like, you know, none of that stuff. It's just going to be random colors, broken glass looking kind of a thing. I think that's what they call it. Well, that's the way it's going. And that's what I mean by this. This stuff's pretty easy to use. You get an air bubble in it, and that's kind of not good. And you kind of need to learn how to drag it, but I don't think those spaces are going to be anything that's going to really affect me. And you can just be as random as you like. And I'm going to do all this, and then I'm going to go and touch up the little streaks. So there is there's not much of a learning curve. A funny way to say that in doing this, isn't it? A learning curve, because you're making so many curves, see? And, oops. Be better if I was showing you what I was doing, huh? Can't take your eye off the ball, though, like I just did. You gotta get it just right. Okay. All right. That's looking very interesting. I can't wait to put color in it. I think I'm going to let it sit for it. Got to keep that stuff flat. Got to get the air out of it. So, got to remember to do that. Okay, let's finish. Okay, the worst part of it is the air bubbles, and I'm about done. So I'll just show you. I'm gonna probably just use this up because it's just going to go bad in the can. But this is where I had to keep knocking it to get the air bubbles out of it. So I'm going to just use the rest of this because that ain't enough. That's 2 ounces. That's enough for this. This is probably, what, 10 inches by like 48 inches or something. And that just about used that whole bottle up. But interesting anyway. So let me do a little filling. I was thinking about going around the periphery, but I ain't got near enough to do that. So it's going to look fine. And remember, I'm going to look at it from far away in a minute. Let me do these little touch-ups where these streaks are. It really took every ounce of that bottle to do this. I don't think it's going to be usable at this point. But there it is. Dang, if it don't look kind of interesting, I just like that. It looked great with color in it, won't it? So, let's go back here. Okay. See, I think that's pretty groovy. I don't know what possessed me to do this. I just thought I'd give it a try. I thought about just putting a shade up there, but I just figured it'd turn moldy. So I think that's going to be far more interesting with the glass block and the tile and the copper and everything. It's a regular fashion bathroom, isn't it? We'll do one color and then another and then another. Now I'll probably just do a couple of colors randomly. I guess this got, like I said, I think this got to sit for a day. I need to get some white caulk, don't I? Caulk that corner. And now everything else, it's just like anything else. It just keeps growing. Just sort of looking this over, there's about 30 panels per that window, 30 per each of the 4 panels. I made like 120 little panels. I'm also rethinking my shower curtain, so I'm going to have it kind of puddle right here. No pun intended. And I'm going to make it go up over here, so when I pull the curtain back, it'll be off the floor. So I'm going to kind of put it on an angle to do that. But back to this. So, 30, 60, 90, 120. So the reason I say that is, and I tell you something else too. If I were you, I'd turn them bottles upside down, get that air out of there. I learned that the hard way with the lady. So I got 7 colors, so 120 divided by 7 equals 17 point something. So you want to do 17 of those panels in each color, depending on what you got, And I'm going to have to make some paint brushes. I don't have any paint brushes that small. So what I'm probably going to do is get some. I always have a couple of chip brushes lying around. I'm big on chip brushes, so I've never disassembled the brush, but I'll probably just make me some paint brushes out of this. We'll see how that works. Only got to use it on 17 or 18 panels, and I like having the white. The white will make it look good. So there you go. So 18-1, 16 another, 18-1, and then just, you know, kind of randomly do them. But a little bit of math there is good. I've lived a life of kind of having to make do with what I have, because I'm usually so far out in the country, and so this is what I'm doing. This is the anatomy of a paintbrush. There's your paintbrush. There are these little itty nails, which I actually have use for in furniture repair. And there's the way they do this. They just glue the bristles down in there. I figured it was something like that, you know. It can't just be compression. But these are known for shedding. So let's see if we can make us some paint brushes with some Gorilla Tape and some screws. It's always interesting to take things apart, but I never thought taking a paintbrush would be apart would be fun. This was a blast. A little piece of foam. I think they call it open cell foam, and then they just kind of glue it around the edges. Very interesting. So I've made my 7 little paintbrushes here. They only have to work 17 times just to kind of spread that stuff around, and I think that's fine. So I might have those are leftover screws and stuff. So I think I've got 30 cents in this. Little time, little duct tape, little Gorilla Tape. Took a strip and tore it into little strips like this. So I probably used 3 inches of duct tape or Gorilla Tape, whatever you want to call it. And so interesting. That was more fun than I ever dreamed it would be. So the anatomy of a paintbrush. And you know, this leaded stuff, I tell you what else I did. Oh, I don't think y'all might see what I'm watching, but I watch all kinds of things. So this is the place that I got this stuff from. And I put some of the leading compound on here, and just so I can, you know, see how it's going to dry. You know, instead of going up there and touch it. It dries pretty quick. It's probably been about 2 hours, and I don't think I'm going to be doing any more stained glass work. But if I do, I'm going to get some more. This looks like I'm going to have enough of that stuff, doesn't it? So I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I have to think about that thing, but it really, you just kind of paint between the lines here a little bit. And I probably will just take my little screwdriver here and use that kind of as a paintbrush and spread it around in here, so it'll have more of a defined line. My thinking is that you might just want to have a little damp cloth or damp towel and wipe up around the edges, but we'll see how it works. We'll see how messy this ends up becoming. Like I say, I watched a video on it, and it was interesting enough, and I like the way that they take the white and they sort of flare it into the other colors when they're doing flowers and stuff. It's fairly interesting. When I was real little, I had to go to CBC camp in western North Carolina. It was Camp Haynes at one time, but they called it CBC because they didn't want you to know what it was. And I went there and I was duped by Big Sam Norman. Boy, I was so excited. There was a lake and a boat and everything. I was all ready to go. I was ready to teach them how to barefoot and everything. Nope. It was a Bible camp, Carolina Bible camp. So I was seething in anger for 2 weeks. I was really ticked off. And then I realized a couple of days into, what are you going to do, fail me? I'm just not going to go. So you got to get up and go. No, I don't. Can't make me. And I didn't. So it's not that I got anything against the Bible. I don't have anything against any religions of any kind. But that, just being duped like that to get rid of me for 2 weeks, That made me mad. That's what made me mad. And God, it drove me insane. I think I was mad for about 3 months. It's been about 8 hours, a little more. That's just fine. It says 24 hours. I'd give it that. And I'm an interesting fellow. My house temperature is right at 55 degrees. It doesn't bother me. I actually enjoy it very deeply. So what we got here, I got my bright shower thing today to raise that shower head up. Alright, so what we got up here is, we got this. You don't have to cut the tips off of these, by the way. I did that on the black thing to make it a little thicker. Oh no! Well, it happens to all of us, don't it? So, oh yeah, here are the little brushes I made out of screws and duct tape. I think I talked about that earlier. Oh, okay, tired. So, my guess is it's going to be about 17 to 20 of these done in each color, more or less. I'm probably going to want a little bit more white. So I'm probably going to start this green. Yeah. This green, I'll turn them upside down like I said. I don't know. Let's just kind of see. I put the rest of them over there on my bath, my lavatory. So let's start doing this. Let's do one right here, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Let's do this one green. Okay. I don't have any idea how this is gonna work. So that's time. So here we go. You ready? So there's my first touch of color. And I'm just going to kind of glob it around a little bit. That sure is pretty. And I don't care if I get a little bit on the edges. It's not going to bother me. That's why I made the edges kind of thick. I kind of had a feeling this might happen. So there you go. Oh, some of the black is bleeding out. Oh, there you go. That's not good. Oh, okay. Well, let it dry 24 hours then, okay? Well, I didn't think about it melding with the other stuff. I don't want to use my brush on this now because it'll mess up. See, it came off on my finger there too. Okay, well, you'll never see this one. This is why I started low. So when they say 24 hours, they must mean it. Uh-oh. Somebody wants to talk to me. Alright, well, lesson learned. Okay. I kind of like that. It kind of looks a little psychedelic, doesn't it? Well, we'll worry about that tomorrow. So we're going to put that back on there. These tips look like they're kind of got a cool design in them, if you could see it. Got this stuff on my hands now. Well, alright, so I messed up. So screwed up. Oh well. You trusted us. Okay, so, okay. I'm not going to brush that out because I don't want to mess up my little brush. So that'll be the one that says I learned how to do this. But the funny thing is, it's pretty dry. And then it reacts to that stuff, but I guess it just has to fully cure. Alright, so there you go. I learned something. Okay. The lady said 8 hours on the video. I think the 24 thing's better. Especially as cold as it is in the house too. Okay, interesting. Round one done. So there's this green and there's my little handmade brush. And I'm going to try to get up here and do this thing. So there's what it looks like. There's what it looks like after 24 hours. That's the one I messed up. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got about 16 in that color, and I like it. I really do like it. So my little brush works pretty good. So you can see that it does. And I don't care about getting it on the black too much. But I'm okay with all this. I think this is going to be fine. And you kind of learn to twirl around like that. And that's just dandy. Well, let's go get another color up here. You want to? It'll be tomorrow before I'll be able to show you what it looks like totally like. Okay, there's two colors. Alright, got the blues in there. This is working out pretty good. I'm kind of digging it. So there's another color up there. Let's go for something else. Let's go for white. A little harder to see, but there's the white. Alright, it's coming along. Okay, so it pays to step back and look at things. And you kind of think you might leave some of that clear, but I don't think I will. I've got to you got to kind of look at it and think about it. So that's every color. So I'm going to just have to just stand back up there and just kind of start over again. And there's all my little brushes. So let's stand up there and start over again. We'll do that tomorrow. This has been a fairly bit longer procedure than I anticipated. I believe I just have one more to fill in. So let's take a look here. Alright, now the white, as you can tell here, dries clear. I thought the white stayed white, but it doesn't. It turns clear, which is okay with me. White clear, good enough for me. So the only one I see left is this one. And then that'll do it. And this is just the procedure. You got to make careful considerations here that it doesn't run down on the next one. I just sort of randomly go in the middle and go around the edges. And some of this stuff's a little thicker than the others. I gotta give this stuff a definite B+. It's just so pretty. We'll step back in a second. It really won't be fully baked until tomorrow, because you can tell right here that it's still white, and that's been there over 24 hours. So you have to wait. It dries into this beautiful translucent thing that looks just like, this makes me think of my Barrister bookcase. I have a 3-level Barrister bookcase sitting out there. And when I found it in a dumpster in Chapel Hill, only one of the panes was original. And it's what they call seeded glass. And you kind of want this to be, you just want to cover it. These are just that little bits of that brush there. Don't really, you have to be too perfect in this circumstance, because mostly what we're doing here is just making it colorful and everything from afar. I would estimate that I've got on and off over 3 days, probably 3 or 4 hours. So that does it, and you just have to kind of go back and forth and back and forth, and that does it. So let's step back, just look around the edges, and even if you missed one, it's not terrible. But there's the perfectly cured clear, and there's one with just a little teardrop right there about 7 o'clock, and there's some at the base. And I would guess by tomorrow this will look correct. So let me get out of here and I'll turn the lights off. and I'll try not to. Boy, I'm tired. So let's just put this here. My little paintbrushes have worked out marvelously. So I'm happy about the whole thing. $24, I think it was. Okay. I don't remember which one of these is the seeded glass. You can see the little beads in that. Now you can buy this stuff. See, that one's clear. And that one's clear. But this one is the original one. And this is a real oldie goldie here. So, okay. I don't know what of that I'm going to have to edit. So, let's go in here and turn the lights off. And close this door. And we'll see what it looks like. My little fish thing, I love it. And then, there you go. A nice dappled, colorful window made out of a cheap builder grade thing. And I love it. I think that is just great. So let's see. I'm going to try to remember I'm going to hold the camera right here. And then in 24 hours, I'll hold the camera right here again. And we'll see if it looks any different. It'll be a little bit more translucent. It's the next day. I believe it looks a little different, but not much. All the white has turned to clear. All the snow has turned to water. Christmas Day has come and gone. It's 8:30ish. It's a little cloudy, but let's put an amen on this thing. And do you know what today is? Today is December 17th, and you know what that means. It's my favorite day of the year. And I believe everybody should just pick a favorite day of the year, make it their own personal holiday. And that's what I did when I was in college. I said, this is the day. And I was in a little white MG midget, and I was way up in the mountains, and it was snowing. I put the top down, and I had a blast, and drove real fast and went up the curves and stuff like that. So anyway, well, okay, everybody should do that. I suggest that highly. So the sun's in a good spot. So let's take a look. This has been sitting for a couple of days now. And there's what it looks like with the lights off and the sun behind it. And now I will tell you that I did try to paint a couple of the clear things a little bit whiter. That doesn't work. So the white will turn clear and just learn to live with it. So that's what it looks like with the sun behind it, as much as it's going to be today, as cloudy as it is. So let's go here and we'll turn the lights on and we'll see what it looks. So you can see that's about as much light as I'm going to get. You come in here and it's just literally beautiful. Can't see the shower head. Ain't got any white caulk yet. I'll get some in a day or two. But that's it right there. And there's my shower things that have been fixed up. Well, I'm living in the tall cotton here, man. And I got my new floor. And I got the, I'm going to work on the axle today unless I get it called out to go do something. And then there's my little shield with my little accents back there and my tilted rod. Got some mud on the floor right there. Before I wore my shoes in here, I ought not have, but it'll be easy to clean off because, you know, I'm in the shower. So everything's working great. And that's going to finish the whole flipping project that started, I don't know, several years ago actually, I guess with a glass block. And I got my drain, and it drains out beautifully. The only reason that's shiny right there is because it's got silicone on it to keep it from getting moldy. And everything else is good, and I got silicone around the edges. So that's it for the stained glass project. So let's go down to the barn and start working on that axle. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's right down in here. You just look right down in there and you subscribe. Tell your friends, share it. Appreciate it. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Alright, it's almost 6 a.m. And I'm going to show you something I've never seen before. See, it's even my Nest says that. So it's perfectly dark. A little bit of traffic out there. And you kind of wish the Christmas lights were on. Well, I've never seen anything like this. There's my snowman, and you see the blue lights are on. I mentioned this before, but those lights are on, and I'm telling you, this thing's off. See, they're sort of all got some kind of residual energy going through them. It's very weird, but I don't have my flashlight on me, but this thing is off. This is a, probably can't see it. I don't stick my hand in there. I think I know my way around here enough to, but here, I'm gonna click it on. And then there it is on. And now you can see that. And see, it's off. I guess I'll just kind of leave it on. But there's some kind of, you know what it could be? It could be this bumblebee. Let me turn this thing back off. Could be this bumblebee LED thing that's keeping energy going through it. I don't know. I've got this switch right here. Maybe that's doing something. It can't be. Because this is first. So here's the outlet. Here's the old water heater switch. The little gray box. And then it goes to the bumblebee. Then it goes to the triple splitter. And then there you go. How does that happen? Let's see if it does it again. Let's see if it does it when it's off. This still doesn't. It's off and it stays on. Too weird. Well, if it's gonna be on, it might as well be on. Boy, I don't like sticking my hand. I got hit by one of these one time. Alright, well, there you go. Too weird. Alright, well, let's put those on for the passers-by. They'll like that. You can't really see anything but the kind of loose colors here, but that's just strange. Ugh. Let's pour rain.